Jesus called his 12 disciples, giving them power over devils and to cure diseases. He sent them to preach God's kingdom and heal the sick. He told them to take nothing for their journey: no staves, no scrip, no bread, no money, nor 2 coats. Whatever house you enter, abide there. If they do not receive you, shake off the dust from your feet as a testimony against them. They departed, preaching and healing. Herod heard of these things and was perplexed, as some said John was risen from the dead. Others said Elias had appeared, or an old prophet. Herod said, John the First had beheaded, but who is this? And he desired to see him. The apostles returned, telling Jesus all they had done. He took them privately to a desert place near Bethsaida. When the people knew, they followed him. He received them, spoke of God's kingdom, and healed those in need. As day ended, the 12 said, Send the multitude away to find lodging and food, for we are in a desert place. But he said, Give them to eat. They replied, We have only 5 loaves and 2 fishes, unless we buy food for all these people. There were about 5,000 men. He told his disciples, Make them sit down by 50s. And they did so. He took the 5 loaves and 2 fishes, looked to heaven, blessed them, broke them, and gave them to the disciples to set before the multitude. They all ate and were filled, and 12 baskets of fragments remained. As he prayed alone, his disciples were with him. He asked them, Whom do people say that I am? They answered, John the Baptist, some say Elias, others an old prophet risen. He asked them, But whom say ye that I am? Peter answered, The Christ of God. He charged them to tell no man, saying, The Son of Man must suffer, be rejected, slain, and raised the 3rd day. He said to all, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. For whoever saves his life shall lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake shall save it. What does a man gain if he wins the whole world, but loses himself? For whoever is ashamed of me, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he comes in his glory, and his Father's, and of the holy angels. Some standing here shall not taste death until they see the kingdom of God. About 8 days later, he took Peter, John, and James, and went up a mountain to pray. As he prayed, his face changed, and his raiment became white and glistening. 2 men, Moses and Elias, appeared in glory, speaking of his decease at Jerusalem. Peter and his companions were heavy with sleep. When they awoke, they saw his glory and the 2 men. As they departed, Peter said, Master, it is good for us to be here. Let us make 3 tabernacles, one for thee, one for Moses, and one for Elias, not knowing what he said. While he spoke, a cloud overshadowed them, and they feared as they entered it. A voice from the cloud said, This is my beloved Son. Hear him. When the voice passed, Jesus was found alone. They kept it secret, telling no one what they had seen. The next day, as they came down the hill, many people met him. A man cried out, Master, look upon my only child. A spirit takes him, and he suddenly cries out, tearing him until he foams, and bruising him before hardly departing. I asked your disciples to cast it out, but they could not. Jesus said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? Bring your son here. As he came, the devil threw him down. Jesus rebuked the unclean spirit, healed the child, and delivered him to his father. They were all amazed at God's power. While they wondered, Jesus told his disciples, Let these sayings sink into your ears. The Son of Man shall be delivered into the hands of men. They did not understand this saying, and it was hidden from them. They feared to ask him. Then a reasoning arose among them. Which of them should be greatest? Jesus, perceiving their thoughts, took a child and set him by him. He said, Whoever receives this child in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives him that sent me. For he that is least among you all, the same shall be great. John said, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and we forbade him because he follows not with us. Jesus said, Forbid him not, for he that is not against us is for us. When the time came for him to be received up, he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem. He sent messengers ahead, who entered a Samaritan village to prepare for him. They did not receive him because his face was set toward Jerusalem. When James and John saw this, they asked, Lord, Wilt thou that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, as Elias did? But he turned and rebuked them, saying, You know not what spirit you are of. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And they went to another village. As they went, a man said, Lord, I will follow thee wherever you go. Jesus said, Foxes have holes, and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. He said to another, Follow me. But he said, Lord, let me first go and bury my father. Jesus said, Let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of God. Another said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell at home. Jesus said, No man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God.